one start loop plus 6 laps of 6.8 kilometres, a total of 43 kilometres, and lap times could be as low as late 17 minutes maybe, Jenny. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the women were around 20-minute laps, weren't they? So, yeah, 17-minute laps, I'd imagine. They always surprise us, though.
Yeah. Juniors yesterday were doing some amazing lap times of 18.5, 18.40s.
Wow, and they're off.
They're away.
Nice start by Julien there, quickly into the pedals.
Yeah, this course, this long start straight now is very, very important because the course has got a lot of single track, so important to defend your start position if you're on the front first 2 or 3 rows. The mid guys, and you've got all these guys at the back trying to push through. They're looking left and right for a gap.
Yeah, these guys are gridded, kind of Formula 1 style. The basis of the grid position for the first round of the World Cup is done on, first and foremost, the results of last year's World Series, and then they do...
Let's see who's in there. It looks like Ralph Naff.
Yeah, Ralph Naff on the front there.
Absalon in 3rd, and Italian national champion Fontana, I think, in 4th.
Yep.
Nino Schurter's looking nice there in 6th or 7th.
Just a big line out, as you would expect, same as the women's race at this stage. These guys can all ride at this top speed once the line out has happened. Be a little while yet before the back breaks start to occur.
Yeah.
These guys through this stuff, this free ride stuff, they'll just be hoping not to make some silly mistake, really, won't they?
Yeah, they just want to keep it cool, make sure nobody passes them. Always looking for an opportunity, but it'd be somebody making a mistake for them to actually move up in this section. We know Ollie's looking good there. I think he's already moved forward.
Yeah, he looks as though he's held or moved forward from his grid position, Ollie Beckinsale. We'll be looking out also for Britain's Liam Colleen, the Commonwealth Games medalist, gold medalist even. Liam will be, he's so successful because he used to not just have one dessert, but used to finish my dessert as well at the dinner table. But no, fantastic guy, and really him and Hamida, who I was on a team with, just love riding their bikes. These guys will go down a road descent from the hotel to the race site, rubbing their cleats along the ground, getting sparks. So, you know, it's good to see that those guys still have that bit of fun on their bikes like we all do.
Okay, we can see the lead guys going through now. There's virtually no gaps in there. It's one solid line there.
What's your thoughts on bikes today, Nick? How many people do you think will opt for hardtails versus full suspension bikes on this course?
I think, like the women's, I think it would be about 50-50. I know that the Scott Swiss Power team, I've opted for the hardtail. They're riding the scales today. Always a weight benefit.
Do you know what Nino Schurter's on today, the world champion?
Nino's on the very lightweight scale he's got his world champs spray job. It's all white with the bands on it. It's amazing looking.
Was his the bike with the interesting coloured tyres that I happened to see yesterday?
I'm not sure actually. Tell me. Oh, the white tyres.
The blue tyres.
No, that wasn't his bike. That was somebody else's. Yeah.
These guys get the best of everything. They get a lot. The top guys get a lot of custom-made items from the sponsors, and it's interesting because they still get excited about it, even when they've been racing for years. Having something a little different, it just makes their racing that bit more fun. That's right. The blue tyres you're talking about, I know what you mean now. But the gaps are starting to open, and the risk that you take if you're a rider that allows yourself to get too far back on those opening stages is that you only need one rider in this line to make the smallest error, and immediately a gap forms. That gap that is then terribly difficult to close, however small it looks on camera, and so you really are risking a lot by allowing yourself. Definitely, of course. If you prefer to be in the front and see all the lines, then it's definitely good to get in the front and definitely allow Julien's so skillful that he can ride on a wheel and miss all the technical things that are thrown at you, the rocks and the drops. He can ride just the same behind. He's so skillful. Yeah, so we've got Naff Absalon, we've then got Nino Schurter, the current world champ, and then they're joined by, well, we've got the Italian national champ there. This group is starting, you know, the elastic is breaking just further back, like 7th, 8th, 9th is beginning to just struggle a little bit through there. That's right. It'd be interesting to see the lap time of the first complete lap as he approached the finish. Are you taking bets? I'm thinking late 17s. Wow, okay. Guys. Guy, they're just having a problem. Looks as though he might have had a bit of chain suck, or perhaps dropped his chain off there in Dixon's Hollow. That's a costly error there.
Okay, we've got 6 guys in the lead group now, and including the start loop, lap 1 at 22:40. So.
Yeah, so that is about a 17-18-minute first lap that those guys are doing. And you won't expect to see these guys' lap times falling off one bit. I mean, at this level, the name of the game is lap differential to be minimal. So you'll see.
Interestingly, Jeff Kabush is, I'm not going to say struggling, but he's back in 29th.
Looks as though we've got a bit of an attack here. Burry Stander, who's been sitting comfortably within that group, is pushing the pace at the front here. Immediately Nino Schurter has responded onto his wheel with Fontana, the Italian champion there, and Julien Absalon currently in 4th. That is splitting the group. At the minute it looks to me as though there are 6 making the cut, with another 4, 5 struggling to get on terms with those. They're going to want today, but they'll still need to be taking on board fluid, and obviously that fluid also has carbohydrate drink in it, maltodextrin, something like that. They need to take that on board, but of course these guys, it's a power to weight sport. These guys want to have their bike as light as possible at any given time. So if there's a feed every lap, they will quite often opt to fill their bottles just to half point, because a litre of fluid is a kilo, weighs a kilo, 500 ml, half a kilo. Well, if you take half a bottle a lap and take more regularly, at least once a lap, you're saving yourself 250 grams. It may sound small, but these guys work in grams.
Yeah. Very interesting that, Jenny. Actually, another nation that are riding really strong today, the Spanish. There are two guys in the front group, number 23.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting what a change it is not to see Hermida as the leading Spanish rider. I mean, he has been the leading Spanish rider for a very long time now. So
we've got Ivan Alvarez riding for Giant, and we've also got Ruben Ruzafa.
World champ. You expect those guys to be up there. We've got the world under 23 champion up there, the French champion, the Italian champion. But these guys are less well known at the moment on the mountain bike circuit. But this first World Cup of the year is where names start to become known, isn't it?
That's right. The group has actually splintered to 6 really now.
6 riders. So that's starting to become quite a workable little group.
Yeah. Oh, and a foot out there from the Trek rider.
Yep. So these guys maximising the energy they can gain from this section of trail. You know, they don't really want to have to pedal more than they can on any section of the course. This trail lends itself to pumping the bike, to gaining energy from the trail, to using the berms fully. And you'll see that's what these guys are doing. They don't want to have to expend any more energy at any time in this race than they absolutely have to, because the more energy you can save, the
certainly
be interesting, wouldn't it? Because these guys will all be running super fast tyres, and this could get fairly slippy. It's been dry, essentially, and sometimes when you do get a situation the trail has been very dry, a bit of rain on it can make it super slippy.
Yeah, I rode the course last night, and the dust on the course was incredible, and it was actually slippy through dust.
That becomes a problem, doesn't it? Yes, there's early breaks that take place that you have to be able to make that cut, but equally you've got to still have something left.
I've got to say, looking at a group of 6 at half distance racing like this, I think that's a lot to do with the course.
Some stage may well make the split. The Spanish riders we know slightly less about, but they are sitting further back in the group at the moment. Doesn't mean to say that they haven't got the ability to make that break, but it would suggest to me that they won't be so well prepared if the break occurs one forward from them.
Absolutely. See Ralph Naff there. He's a good bike handler. He's a brilliant bike handler, but I think he's suffering at the moment. Yeah, he's paying for his early efforts. Riding full suspension, I believe. Yep. Yeah, interesting to see that which riders have opted for which. You know, and interestingly, Julien had decided to run that regardless. He was already off his bike with it, carrying it, running up there cyclocross style before Stander had even messed up on that section. I'm noticing now. Look at this. Here we go. Losing the wheel there. Yeah, and this is a classic Absalon move at a classic Absalon moment.
he is finally starting to show a card. See how strong these guys really are. Schurter's struggling to get on terms. I think he will get back on terms at this moment, but interesting to see that even that gap went at this stage. This most likely will be a test attack at this time from Absalon, but he'll be aware that a wheel has gone. He may not know whose wheel has gone, but he'll know that a wheel's gone. I think he would be quite happy to know whose wheel has gone at this moment.
I think you're right there, Jenny. And Schurter connects back on.
Yeah, he will get back on terms, energy-wise, that has been spent.
So coming up for 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Absalon pulls over. You see, he's made that test attack. He can now sit at the back and have a look at these other guys, see how they're riding.
Be interesting to see the time gap now.
The effort and you know, sort of call on knowledge and so on that takes is very impressive.
Do we know where is he based in South Africa?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, he has raced the Cape Epic in the past, which is obviously the big South African stage race held early in the year. And he does race in South Africa. They held the first round of the World Cup there, remember, last year. So they are trying to have a bigger presence. Cycling is a massive participation sport in South Africa, and so to have some top riders is great for them. I think that Burry, as with many of these bikers, will be fairly nomadic, and I would imagine he would base himself in Europe at this time of year.
Yeah, great place of training in the winter. To go there, I don't know if you have, Jenny, but
nope, no, I haven't.
It's on my list. I'm looking for a buddy.
we can agree on air. Yeah, no, the Cape Epic is really a mainstay of the calendar now, and as we say, some of these guys use it as a warm-up into their racing season to get some extra off-road miles in their legs. They also use it when they've got new bikes. They'll use it. And Schurter's not going to get on the front, I wouldn't imagine, at this stage.
Not now. Absalon may be the old master, but I think there's a very experienced old head on a young shoulder sat behind him.
Yeah.
How much were we betting?
I'll let you know in a few minutes. Stander's still there in third. He's done a fantastic ride today. I mean, he has used a lot of energy in this race, Stander, perhaps more than he should. You know, he has the wise heads alongside him, and obviously his determination to incorporate a skills session within his race has cost him the odds.
Absalon still in the lead. Schurter still holding the wheel. Nino cannot afford to let that wheel go now.
There's the tiniest of gaps there. He has to get back on terms if this is going to come down to a true sprint, and he's actually going to get the benefit of that wheel into that very slight headwind up the finish straight.
He's cleared the double.
It up.
Cleared the double. And
if nothing else, he's cleared the double, and he's closed back in on Absalon. He's feeling confident.
High on the berm, pumping the rhythm section through. Very, very good. Very tense. Okay, so from here on in, they've dipped down out of sight. They've got a technical, rooty little bit, and then it's straight up to the road.
Along a section of road, berm into the finish straight.
Berm into the finish, and very, very surprised if this isn't going to be led out by Absalon. We'll see whether Schurter can come round him.
Nick and I are now alone in the commentary booth because the entire editing team have actually gone to see this live. Here we go.
Led out by Absalon.
Absalon's leading out. He looks strong. Nino Schurter's going to have to start to come round him sometime soon. And here he comes. This is a repeat of the World Championship.
Schurter.
Again. An absolute carbon copy of the World Championship.
Incredible.
Absalon just continues to pedal out the side.
I think we'll call that tenner to me, Jenny. Burry Stander crossing the line.
Fantastic ride for the young rider.
Brilliant.
Thomas has gone off to congratulate his rider, who's just collapsed on the floor. Can't believe it. He's just...
What ride from...
Moved himself rider. And another sprint coming in here out of corner. Jeff Caboose for Canada. Can he hold on? Over to Colomar, he can. Chefkabash takes 28, Palomar takes 29, Sam Short. Coming in. He's going to take 3 rider. Yeah, absolutely. Man's just putting that. Alex Gomez for the Lafayette International team takes your elite man's podium.